How's it going, my gamers? Today we're playing Worldbox, and instead of, doing what we usually do and, making our own unique map, I thought, what if we just switch it up and just, roll with what they give us? I mean, not a lot of people actually, use the generic map that they generate, but I think it'd be cool just to kind of, I don't know, scenario that this is our planet. It's a kind of interesting landscape it generated for us, so I think it'll be interesting and kind of fun to experiment with this. And, maybe not this exact one, but we could do something cool like maybe, let's have it generate the least amount of islands. 5 islands? Something like that. Random shapes? 5? I'm not sure what exactly that means. We're going to keep it at 5 though. And then the water level can remain at 10. I think that'll be fine. So we're going to generate a new map. And we're going to see what we get. And this is the world that we generated. It is 2 major continents on opposite sides of each other. And a small Australia-like continent down here. We have some small island chains. Probably like Indonesia would be a good example. This island has some really cool, I don't know, like beach stuff going on around it. It really reminds me of the east coast of the United States, how it has the little, I don't know, beach front or whatever surrounding it. It's kind of cool. And I like how that island turned out. Actually, a lot of the islands have that. Not all of them, but some of them do. And there's quite a bit, to be honest, on this map. This island generated up some really cool mountain regions. It's mainly a desert, so this is kind of our, I don't know, I'd say Africa, but it's not. This one has a lot more desert, so this is probably like Africa. But, yeah, there's some really small regions. Maybe a canal or something could be built there. If this was the real world, maybe a canal would probably be built up here in the Arctic region, the colder area. I wonder if we should add Arctic onto this. That might be kind of cool. Let's build a really small Arctic real quick on this map. Let's do something kind of like this, maybe? That's not too big. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Maybe even a little bit bigger than that. Something like this. Let's just do this. We'll have a really tiny Arctic on the South Pole. And then we'll have a really small Arctic on the North Pole also. So this is more or less what our North and South Poles look like. We got some snow here at the bottom, not a lot. Mainly in the Australia region, there's quite a bit, or at least what we're calling Australia. In the north, we got a really weird ice chain. This would be almost like a continental, passageway, kind of like we see in what they believe historically how humans got to the Americas, which was one of the proposed things. There's other ones too, but that's the main one, is the Bering Strait theory, which I think that one has the most backing to it. And then we also got the, the little continent stuff going on over here. This looks a lot like Greenland, so this is kind of like our Greenland for this world. And this one's just a small, kind of interesting island. I like it. But yeah, let's see how our humans will thrive here. Or should we have dwarves or orcs? We could put like each one on a different region. That might be kind of interesting. The orcs, what do they not like? The orcs like trees and they don't like orcs. The dwarves like the mountains. The orcs like... It doesn't say what they like, but I'm assuming they can survive almost anywhere that the humans can. So, I really wish they would add like a mechanic to make it where they'd settle the desert a lot easier, because they don't like to settle the desert or the icy regions even. I really wish that was one of the changes they'd make, but they haven't done it yet. I think we're going to settle the humans on the main continent, perhaps. We're going to have one of them down here in that region. I need to turn on the city map mode. So their first city is called Baguinois, so it's like the Iroquois. The second human civ will be kind of close, because in our own history, humans mainly branched off from one region around Africa and the Middle East. So we'll pretend most of the tribes are down here in the south. This is where humanity started, and then we'll pretend like, I don't know, the Aztecs or some weird faction ventured off onto this continent, kind of like in our own history, how the Indians went across the Bering Strait to colonize the New World. Or not colonize, but, you know, you guys get the point. I'm kind of just, I don't know, talking without really backing a lot up, but yeah. They should settle now, if I'm not mistaken, so I would hope they'd settle. I want to add a little bit on this island also. Maybe they'll come over here and actually settle the region. I'm not going to add grass, just because if I add grass, then it will kind of defeat the purpose of it being a desert. But hopefully these little... Okay, and the grass is already spreading, apparently. I think it's because the elves settled it. They can plant grass, but yeah. The elf colony didn't last very long, apparently. It's kind of cool that they attempted a colony, though. So it does mean the elves have reached this continent, which is, you know, the first of their... Well, maybe not. Looks like other elf colonies have also landed over here and are being slowly kicked out. So the elves are colonizing across the map. They are the most advanced species, so, I mean, I understand why they would do that. They are very advanced compared to the other species at the moment, and they're even colonizing again in the failed region, which is kind of cool to see them, you know, continuing their colony. I will say, though, Orc Australia, you know, it's interesting, but they haven't done as much as I was hoping. I thought since they're isolated, they'd just build a giant empire here, but they really haven't thrived as much as I thought they would. Cruise, the little ice colony by the mountains, has done a lot better, surprisingly. And, you know, they're landlocked, so, well, for the most part. I guess I got the little ice ocean, but that doesn't really mean a lot. Looks like the Aztec human people, or Snow Point, has colonized their second city. A lot of the orcs are also on, or not the orcs, the elves are here as well. So the elves are colonizing from Nona quite a bit, and the elves continue their expansion. And even the Blue Moon Empire has built a little country out here, or city, but they are struggling from the looks of it. They're starting to rebuild, though. Looks like one of the dwarf colonies was officially taken out. I don't think these two will ever really cripple each other too badly because of the mountains, but I think the mountains are going to kind of keep these countries peaceful with each other for the most part, unless this one takes over, because Nodher is booming. They got a really unique looking city. I like the look of it. The layout kind of overlooks from the mountains. It's kind of cool. And damn, Assen has fucking expanded out of fucking nowhere. I mean, the humans are slow. I don't know what the fuck the humans are doing, but they are not advancing at all as quickly as I thought they would. Oh shit, and the elves are battling on this continent. They were both giant cities, but now they're struggling, so we might not see one of them live forever. I'd assume Nona was the bigger one at some point, but Highhole, or Hihole, whatever the fuck you want to call it, is, you know, bouncing back, and they are, you know, thriving. They got plenty of room for farming, that's for sure. Their farm is gigantic, and it's still growing, so I'd assume that they will be a gigantic megacity, possibly taking up about half this island at some point. I guess Assen also has a small colony over here by the humans, but it's not growing. The humans are definitely one in that sense. We see a small colony here as well. I think it's also from... Or no, this is from Nona. Nona is apparently the second person to reach this island, which is kind of cool. I thought Dora Town would be a lot bigger. It's colonized in such an interesting area, but I think because all the mountains, it's kind of slowing them down. Because it is a weird layout, I will say that. It does look like the Blue Moon has a fuck ton of colonies. I don't know why they have so many, but they just continue colonizing. Oh, and the orcs. Is that the orcs? Have the orcs officially colonized? The orcs are officially in the New World. Not sure how long that's going to actually last for. Probably not very long, but we will note in history that they have arrived here. He looks like he's starving to death or dying already, so he might not make it, sadly. And this one's attacking a fellow village. He'll probably get slaughtered. And it looks like another people have colonized out here. It's also the orcs. So the orcs have taken the little teardrop island. I'll call it that. I like the name. Teardrop Island now belongs to the orcs. The city of Omari, which is operated by Hohai or Hi-Ho, is actually doing pretty well for itself. I mean, you know, it's not as big as like other colonies like New Nona or anything like that, but it's still, you know, it's doing alright. Gotta give props where props is due. And Hi-Hole is doing good for itself. They have 3 cities on the major continent of the north region, or whatever you want to call it. Nona is going to get kicked out most likely, but they still got their other stuff in the New World, so I think they're going to be alright. We'll zoom out a little bit. You can see all the little dots in the water. Those are kind of like little trade routes of humans, I like to call it in this game. It'd be cool if they added boats and like actual trading, but for now the closest thing we can do to like, I don't know, visualize trading is just kind of watching the humans go around the map. So a lot of trade routes are in the North Sea region, or the North Ocean. I guess it's not even a sea, it's gigantic. So most of the humans are mainly residing in the northern hemisphere. A lot of them though in the Western Sea as well, so we see a lot of people residing kind of over there. Not a lot of them in the south though, which is kind of surprising. I thought we'd see a lot more, considering Blue Moon City is so gigantic as well. But a lot of them again in the Western and Northern Sea at the moment. I'm surprised the humans haven't crippled the little elf city here, but they're just kind of ignoring it for now. I really want to see the humans just blow. Maybe they have blown up a little bit. They have the Blue Moon Empire has a little city up here that is thriving, you know, better than most of their cities are right now. Nona has recovered a little bit. It looks like some city was here at one point, but it's, oh, I think that was that one capital. Never mind. But Nona has recovered a little bit. And Hi-Hole has 4 cities now on this continent. They're going to start thriving, I'd assume, but we'll have to wait and see. It's like a major migration or attack or some bullshit's going on. But they're all going across the mountains. This dwarven city has been taken out, apparently. Probably by an attack from Nodher, which then goes and colonizes the land. Jesus. Yeah, that dwarf tribe has just been taken out. I'd assume the orcs are next, but if they lose this, they always got Teardrop Island to fall back on, so I think they'll be alright as well. Currently, the largest city is still Assen, but Hi-Hole is not a joke. They're close, and New Nona, not Nina, New Nona is also catching up slowly. So Nona is colonizing a lot. I don't think their colonies are in the best spots necessarily, but they are, you know, the elves are dominating this game. They have 2 of the largest cities. Actually 3 of the largest cities. They're blowing up. The only people who've even come close to the elves at the moment are the dwarves. And you know why this dwarf colony is impressive? It's not anything spectacular either. And Hi-Hole, what the fuck is going on? They're losing a lot of people. Yeah, you just lost like half your population in like 2 seconds. Something terrible just happened to that city. I don't even know what happened, but they just lost like 100 people in like 2 seconds. And I just realized this. I don't think I should point this out because it's really stupid sounding. I was looking at this island and I just kind of saw the shape of it, and it kind of looks like Yoda's head. It kind of looks like Baby Yoda. Baby Yoda Island. I'm going to name it that. We're renaming Assen to Baby Yoda Village. I think that's a good name. It looks like the South Sea has gained a lot of, you know, traffic when it comes to their sea lanes. Lots of people here now, which is kind of interesting. The West Sea, thriving a little bit in the northern side of it. The East Sea has kind of died off, and the North Sea is still the most thriving. But, you know, South Sea is starting to get a pretty large amount of people. I think it's mainly due to the Blue Moon colonization. It's allowed a lot of people to travel the sea in this region. And people are actually colonizing the desert now. It looks like High Hole has been colonizing a few cities out here. So we're going to start to see colonies, you know, the New World is kind of full at the moment. So a lot of them are going to go to the desert, old world, and kind of colonize. I think this one's close enough now that we could build a canal here. And it would make somewhat sense. So we're going to have a little canal going through here just to kind of, you know, simulate what somebody would probably build if they, you know, were in an actual country. That way ships can go through here. And actually they'd probably build another canal here too through this little island region just because it's kind of blocking the path a little bit. Not to mention it can make a little bit of a quicker shipping lane. Just to send them right through there. I think High Hole, if they kick out Nona, they're probably going to be the largest city on the planet. They're thriving. I mean, all their cities here are thriving, so I want to say High Hole won the fucking game. But Nona, I mean, they still got... Oh, Jesus, fuck. When did New Nona get that big? Are they the largest city? No, but they're definitely close. It looks like the humans have also gotten really close to overtaking the dwarves. So, New Nona, I mean, it's not a joke anymore. It's a gigantic city. And they might overtake Baby Yoda Island. But, yeah, this map is, you know, kind of interesting. I like the design and the layout of it. I think we're going to do more stuff like this where we don't really change the maps that it generates and just kind of keep the old one. But for now, I'm happy with how this one turned out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Baby Yoda for the win. Peace.